Yeah, g'day. Darren Guard here on the Gleam fishing channel. We're going to do something a bit different today. We don't have a guest here for a podcast, but I sort of thought we got some pretty good feedback when we did one of these with Richard Wells, and you'll remember we showed some of the early footage of the late Colin Mc Cauley down around D'Urville Island and Stevens Island butterfishing. And yeah, this footage was taken by James Carson, local fisherman. He worked with us for quite a number of years. The Guard family ran the Dorothy May for a long, long time, and him and Colin, as we with us, really good mates with Colin Mc Cauley, and he went down and did a trip on the Tequila, Colin's boat, down around D'Urville Island chasing butterfish. So we found this footage, and I sort of thought what we'll do, I'm just going to go through it. You'll see this is a little bit different. You'll see me clicking buttons and no doubt having some IT issues and having a bit of fun and probably getting grumpy, but that's what happens when you put me in front of a computer, but apparently that's what we're going to have a crack at. So I'm just going to jump through and let it play and just talk you through anything that I think is relevant. Look, I'm not an expert at butterfishing. I did quite a bit when I was younger. With my father, and we used to do a little bit with Colin, so I thought I'll just give you a little bit of commentary. I'm not sure what I haven't watched this whole DVD through, so it'll be a surprise for you and me. Pretty lucky I've had a few old DVDs and CDs come out of the woodwork, so as I get them, we're going to have a bit of a look at them together, because this is important fishing history. So off we go. So listen to that sound, the old unmistakable noise of the popper. There's the Tequila, built by Jack Guard. In the background, that was Colin's boat for many years. And there's old Mr. Mo, as we call him. The old popper, it'd be 100 years old plus, the old popper. And I think the likes of the skull or the oar in the background, you'll see that he steers with that, but also rows, or what they call sculls, with it. And I remember them saying his father built that, so that particular skull or oar is probably 100 years old, built out of a solid bit of timber. So here he is heading away looking for a net. There's a float there, you can see he's round the back end of D'Urville Island. Beautiful day. He'll be just having a bit of a search, looking for good bits to set, good areas to set, and probably some locations where he's already got nets set, getting ready to pull a few. So beautiful spot, beautiful day when you look around it. It'll be winter, like they used to do this during the winter months, so it'll be fresh. Now hear that sound, those of you that spent time on the water, that the engine stopped and hear the water lapping on the hull, that's music to our ears for sure. And here he goes, his first net. So getting himself in position, obviously. And this is interesting, it looks like it's actually stuck. So now, of course, he's in amongst kelp, so you set these, he's given it a good old pull, but it looks like quite often the tide would take a net round the rock, because your butterfish and your moki and those live round the rocks covered in weed. And sometimes I'd get caught, so you'd have to throw it back and then go around and pick the other end up. So that wasn't an uncommon practice, but look at that beautiful, beautiful evening down there. The old classic rock for a weight on the bottom of the net. You'll see him stop. Like, this was something we had to do a lot, is picking seaweed or kelp out, because what it did, it would dry and then it would become an entanglement. So that was quite a hassle. Every little tiny bit of kelp, you had to pull it out, or that would cause you havoc. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfish come aboard there. Picking it out, as you can see. Number one. Some of these, as with all fishing, some sets are good and some are not so good. Bit of a gap between fish here. Another one. Oh, that's that one there. I'll jump forward a little bit. That was what you call a common perch, or the common name was actually a Murray Chief. So there was quite a few of them around there. They are pretty spiky. You can eat them, but they're not the best. So normally a lot of those were returned to sea. There he is pulling away. Another good looking butterfish. I can see him grinning. He always had a funny old grin, Mr. Mo. And one thing he loved for sure was potatoes. There's obviously a bit of Irish in him. He sure loved potatoes, so he'll be probably thinking about the amount of spuds he'll be eating for tea tonight, I would have thought. There was always a huge pot, a pressure cooker, whole spuds. Never really ate mashed spuds, but as long as there was just spuds for every meal, breakfast, lunch and tea, he was a happy man. So the Mc Cauleys and the Guards are obviously related, as the Wells and a lot of other early families down around the Sounds. Another beautiful butterfish gone in. We'll jump forward a little bit. So there's, you got to pull them out. And the beautiful thing is no spikes on a butterfish, so that's really, really handy. So that net's going pretty well. We'll just jump forward. So he's got half a bin there. Beautiful fresh, or greenborne is the other name. So
going to get another net.
You'll hear that. So that's James Carson that's doing the filming. So that's pretty good that he's provided some commentary. Saves me making stuff up, because James is actually there and he knows what he's talking about. So gone to another net. Throwing that one over. Looks he's setting that one. So taking the twists out, making sure that the buoy line or the float line and the lead line are separate. You'll see a few little tangles, and then over she goes. So he set that one again. He'll probably row a bit or scull, like pull a bit of weight on it so that it spreads out, so he can place it where he needs it to go. Or he'll be working with the tide, like, letting the tide move the old popper so the net's getting spread out. Trying to sort those tangles. Those of you that have set nets before will know. Now, all of these nets are in a hardened onshore amongst rocks and kelp, so no risk to dolphins or anything like that, because they don't ply in these waters. So you can see he's setting it, pulling the float line apart. That's the lead line going over. So the net will be standing up on the bottom a little bit like a wall. And the old butterfish, if they're unlucky, will be swimming into it. So this will be happening about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So going into evening is normally your best set for butterfish. So that's what he's doing. You can hear the old leads going ping, ping, ping on the old popper as they go over. Coming to the end of the net, it'll be the sophisticated anchoring system on the end. He'll throw over soon. Oh, hang on. No, or is he joining another one? Look at this. Joining another. It's a long set, that one.
Nets together.
Thank you, James. Yep. Beautiful day there. So, we're sitting here a winter's morning and on the Gleam in Nelson, but I'm sort of looking at that going, I spent a lot of time there when I was younger and looking at that and get a bit of a pining for the place, a bit of a hankering.
Keep it nice and taut.
Yep, cool. James talking us through the process, which is great. So you're a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, eh? Getting it over, make sure there's no tangles, keeping the head line, the float line and the weight line, lead line apart. Yeah, you got to admit, this guy missed.
Old-fashioned way of moving the boat along, called sculling.
There you go. Thank you, James.
Not too many people know how to do that nowadays.
Correct. Yeah, you're looking at 100 odd years or longer of Mc Cauley's skill here, butterfishing. It's a lost art. You won't see it again in New Zealand. And this guy knew every rock, every bay, every shortcut around D'Urville Island like the back of his hand. There's that sophisticated anchoring system you'll see. And she's set. Off they go. Jump forward a little bit and just see what we see. He's heading to another net. Hauling another net. Yep, that's a common perch. Beautiful day. Look at it. Makes you want to be on the water, doesn't it? Bit of wildlife. Off again. So he's pulling the net out here. So just again spreading it by the looks of it. I think I can see the net behind him, just getting it set where they want it. Yep, float over. Right, setting another one, getting it where he wants it. See how he's pulling that, keeping the float line away from the lead line, so when you set your nets, that's really important. Bit of weed, he saw that, as he knew that would cause grief, so he pulled that out. Yeah, some people do macrame or knitting, but fishermen go netting, playing with string, lots of it. Move forward a little bit. Well, the old popper's only idling there. You listen to that. She's not doing many revs there.
Stretching the net out after it's been set with the motor.
Bit more power.
More horsepower. We're really going now. We're time for flounders.
Yeah, they're not. But yeah, she's probably all of about 10 horsepower. Probably not even that, to be honest.
That's out of here.
Off he goes. There's another good set. We just skip along a little bit. They're doing a bit of steaming. Bit of wildlife. Oh, he's gone to one. He's hauling another one. Pretty close in. You'll see how close to the shore they are. I mean, the closer in, the better. That's the old common perch again. Oh, a load of them, the old common perch. Not so many butterfish. There's a butter. There's a bit of action. Not all good eaters, but there's a bit of action happening there. When they get a few numbers, they just pull the nets aboard and then basically take the popper alongside the mothership or the tequila and then just pull them aboard and sort of sort them there. So oh, nice butter. He's worried. Sometimes they only get him by the gills. If you're not careful, you'll lose him right at the water's edge. So you see he wrapped his hand around under it to get it aboard because that's a money fish. See the green? Did you see the green on the tail? So remember, these are called greenbone, is the other name for butterfish, and the name's pretty obvious. When you take a knife to them and fillet them, you'll see that the bones are indeed green.
We're steering away down the net. Got a few butters, quite good.
Bit of a mixed bag by the looks of it. We'll flick along, see if we can find another net, eh? Oh, heading off. Yep, heading back to the tequila by the looks of it. He would have been anchored up, the crew would have been there having a cuppa. Basically just, focusing on navigation. Obviously they're probably just anchored there and just waiting for the popper to come back, and then their work begins basically with the gutting and cleaning and icing and everything. So the old popper, she wouldn't have done more than probably 5 or 6 knots. To be fair, the tequila wouldn't have done any more than 7 or 8. So we're not talking a high-speed operation. There's the crew, that's old Ollie. So you'll see him, typical fisherman, he's got the rod out. So he'll be trying to get a blue cod to add to the tally for the day.
Just come through the sisters, through there, and we're just slowly working our way around towards Hell's Gate. As you can see, Colin's just put a net out over there somewhere. The net. Then we're going through Hell's Gate, which today looks like Granny's Gate. It's that calm, but when the sea and the tide is going hard through, it's the easiest way to get from A to B. Beautiful day. Way in the background there is Stevens Island. Stevens Island again. The one in the foreground, sorry, in the background, is flat rocks.
Got to know where you are through these areas, ladies and gents. Don't take it for granted. Yep, Stevens again.
All by itself now.
Hear that beautiful 471 Detroit GM. Gotta love it. That rocks me to sleep, that noise. I grew up with that noise. Heading to the next spot.
One man very happy with what he's doing for the day.
Mr. Mo.
That's the Jags.
Beautiful part of the world, absolutely lovely.
We're now out on the other side of Hell's Gate.
Pretty tough life for a sheep. Hard enough for a fisherman. Sheep and a cow up there. She's pretty remote part of the world. There's Ollie. Good blue cod. Oh, there's some rippers there.
1.5 pound blue cod. 2 on the hot.
Well done, boys.
Very nice.
Ah, doing another net. Just jump forward and obviously James is filming from the tequila now, and old Mr. Mo's probably told him enough of that camera nonsense. Let me go and be in my happy place and do my own thing, and you stay behind and cook as a feed. So I'd imagine that the spuds would be on now. The pressure cooker would be chocker. And yeah, there'd be a kilo or two of spuds for tea amongst everything else tonight on the tequila, I would say. Pretty much standard practice. Coming to an end shortly, so stern deck of the tequila. So yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So here he is. Yep, just about done. Well, there you go. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. As I said, I've got a few more old CDs that have been handed to me, and we're going to go through them. I've got some rippers like trawling for crayfish, some of the early hokey fishing and trawling. So we're going to go through those over time. So yeah, hopefully you found that interesting and useful. It's something a bit different. My laptop played up. My IT skills weren't as bad as I thought. There's plenty of time to get that wrong, though, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, so if you enjoyed that, please subscribe to the Gleam Fishing channel. Leave some comments. We're always happy to answer your comments. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.